Copy.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm having a... You're good. Am I good? I can't hear myself.
You have no audio either.
No audio? Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No, I can hear you.
Oh. I can't. Nothing. Am I good? I can't hear myself.
I think I can hear you a little now. Your daughter said she can hear us.
Hello? Okay. Oh, there we are. There
Hello?
we are.
Check, check.
Oh, we're good now. That's it. Thank you. So we're on. All right. Well, episode 10. Good evening, everyone. To episode 10 of Citizens United.
No, I don't.
What? You don't hear me?
I think I can hear you a little now. Your daughter said she can hear us.
All right.
Oh, there's the time. It's delayed.
Okay, we're good.
We're good now?
I hope. Yeah. Thank you. So we're on. I'm just getting feedback, but I'm good.
Well, episode 10. Is somebody's phone or computer on? Chris, is your computer playing the,
No.
what? You don't hear me? Computer audio on?
Let me see here.
Yeah, mine's off.
All right.
Okay, speakers are off over here, but
All right.
I
Yeah,
can't hear myself.
I can hear now.
Can you hear yourself, Chris?
No. Check, check.
Can you hear me, Chris? No. Okay.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Are you good now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good now.
All right, Chris.
That
Well,
was
we're-
actually.
Hey.
I'm gone for a few weeks. I come back
Right.
and I'm wrecking shop.
All right. Well, here we are, episode 10 of Citizens United. I'm your host, John Restaino. And we had my partner, co-host Chris, was gone for a while. He was on assignment. Then he was really sick. And now here he is. Chris, how's it going?
Oh, life is good, John. Busy as always, and I'm glad to be back here at Uawa Media. Love coming to the studio, and glad to see everybody, the familiar faces, your wife, and Ohio Barb, and of course Peter's handling the behind the scenes here tonight.
Yeah.
So great to be back. I know we got a lot to get into. I'm looking forward to discussing it. Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, too. There's so much happening. Chris, real quick, though, before we get into stuff, tomorrow starts football.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Where did the summer go?
I know, gone. I'm kind of glad because I think 2020 needs to go. So I'm okay with it.
It's weird because I know football is starting tomorrow night,
Yeah.
but it certainly doesn't feel like it.
There's going to be 17,000, I think, in the crowd they're allowing in Kansas City.
And I think Miami too, right?
Yeah, I think Miami's going to do 14.
there's seven of the teams that are allowing some sort of smaller number of people, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, no.
Attendance limitations, I
Right.
guess.
Well, I can't wait anyways. I know people are boycotting the NFL, but I'm not.
I'm not, and I do
not.
like your hat. I respect the Bears.
All right.
And I would say the last time I followed them was Refrigerator Perry
Yeah.
days and them, but they usually have a good defense. I think that's what they're known for, and
Yeah, offense is never good.
not too good. So
unfortunately.
you think they'll be in the middle of the pack, or tough to
Yeah,
say?
I think, their quarterback is a little, I got to see what Trubisky's going to do. I mean, he was good one year, bad last year. I mean, if he's okay, they could win 9-10 games because the defense is good enough to be a playoff team.
Nice.
It's the offense.
Hey,
That's
at this
not.
point, we need the entertainment, and certainly from everything that's going on, it's a welcome distraction. So.
Anything new going on with your peacemakers at all? What's going on?
Peacemakers, recently we showed up at the Red House, if you're familiar with
Yeah.
that or not, down on Highland Avenue. There's been tremendous amount of crime. There's underage drinking, I guess, going on, and some people think it's a after-hours party house. That's what
Right.
I got from being there and hearing the dialogue. That was nice to see. There were actually some other people that had showed up to protest, a mother and daughter. Can't recall their names right now, but they were there vocally protesting and had made signs and wanted to let the owner know that they're aware of what's going on and something needs to change. The police department is aware, and we are actually asked by the police department to go
Right.
and try to create some dialogue where you can still have people over your home, have a good time, but you can't have anyone from anywhere coming at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. They're underage. They should be going home. And this is what I heard from the owner of the home, that this is happening. And another problem is they're getting alcohol sold to them around the city.
Right.
They show up with alcohol. The guys can't take it away from them. So it was nice that we could help to create some dialogue and prevent maybe other bad things from happening. I'm not totally blaming the
Right.
people that are at the home or the Red House. This is new to me, and this is my experience based on what really happened with
Right.
the peacemakers. And we're expanding. I guess they've gone into Lockport and maybe Tonawanda, a couple different directions. And we were formed originally from Buffalo Peacemakers. That's where we got our start from.
Right.
So it looks like people are seeing what we're doing, taking notice. I know Peter had mentioned on the Edge of the Falls that he had noticed us out in the community, and I definitely want to send a shout out for that recognition. And
That's good.
it's great to not only be on air and want to talk about things, but actually doing it. And I do it because it makes me feel good, and
Right.
I want the betterment of our community for everybody, and hopefully we can get out of this pandemic a lot better than we are right now.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the pandemic, Chris, I wanted to get your thoughts. To go in a store, you got to wear a mask, or at least that's what they say. You're required to, or they won't serve you. I don't know anymore. I didn't fight the masks. I know a lot of people did, and I respected them for that. I just didn't fight them. I didn't fight it. I just, if I got to go into a store, I put it on. If I'm outside when I'm taking a walk, I don't wear one. I didn't, it's crazy. Why would I have to wear one when I'm outside?
Right, like you respect the fact that the main reason originally to wear it was from us to prevent us from getting others ill, and I certainly respect that. I have no problem with the
Right.
mask, but it's just everywhere you go, it's different. In some places enforced, some it's not. Some places will give you a mask, and some won't.
Right. Well, are you thinking yet that it's almost? I saw a thing on Facebook. I know it doesn't mean anything, but they were saying, "No, September 15th, we're going to get rid of the masks. Everyone, just get rid of them. We're not wearing
Wow.
masks anymore on September 15th." I mean, that's just, I don't know. It's probably not going to be anything will catch fire on it, but you get what I'm saying. Are you ready? Are you at the point where you think it's over? I mean, not over, but like to move on from I don't know.
I feel that the common flu spreads more. Let me rephrase that. The COVID is certainly more deadly than the common flu, but we now know that COVID is a virus, and from what we've learned today, even more, it's transmitted through aerosol, through the air. So I don't know that the masks are really doing much for us. I mean, you're in an area with other people. Now, washing your hands is always certainly a good idea. Social distancing, fine. But for us to continue in this lockdown mode and pandemic mode, I think I've had enough.
Right.
And I'm not taking any vaccine.
You're not? No?
I mean, eventually, but not if it comes out because the president wants to come out and he's made it a political issue instead of a health and safety issue. Certainly not going to be anybody's guinea pig.
Right. No, you'd want to wait to see what happens. I know I with what I got going on with Robin and stuff, I got to be careful, and I got grandkids and all that. But
Sure.
I do understand. I mean, I don't want to be the first to be taken. The what the heck you got? Why did it just slip my mind?
The COVID.
The COVID thing.
The plague, as he calls it.
I mean, I don't want to be the first one taking, I guess, the shot. But
no. It seems like things have sort of flattened out.
Yeah.
And we're kind of, I wouldn't say we're at a leveling off point yet, but are we just getting used to it? Are we and after today, are we being told the truth?
Well, the numbers just seem to be really, I don't know how much better, I don't know what else they're going to be. I mean, I mean, in New York State, we're pretty flat. I think we are. I mean, what do you see here? Just think about in Niagara County, you know, you'll get maybe 3 or 4 you'll see a day if you look on Facebook. You know, I don't know. This is a tough one for me, and I don't even know why. I
think it goes back to, it could be leadership. It could be, if you want to say presidential.
I think it might be.
What is the reliable source anymore? Is there a reliable source anymore? John, can you give the phone number real quick in case anyone wants to call in?
It is area code 716-804-1229 is our number here.
Yeah, so, what do you think about that?
Well, I think part of the problem is, let me think. You know, I think it's more governors based than presidential. I kind of do in a way, because the president says whatever he says, but the governor's got to do what they do. And, you know.
And that's basically what Trump has said. Like, basically, I'm going to give you the guidelines and the rules, and it's up to you to execute those rules or to execute the plan. And so I can see where you could tag it on the governor. And
I think all of them.
Yeah, and here's another thing, and I don't want to go down this whole conspiracy line or this whole way off thing, but I'm just thinking, and a woman that cut my hair today said this to me. It feels like there's something, there's another agenda. There's whatever. I'm not saying conspiracy, but there's something more to this, like to just shut everything down and to have so much misinformation and mistrust and no real leader. Or, back in the days you had 3 media stations and you felt like you were pretty well getting the truth. Now they don't report any news. Every show you watch on TV is an opinion show. And, if you want to see news, you got to watch the cable news, and they just show the same news 24 hours a day. It's like, where can we go to where do we turn to when the government can't be trusted, or it feels like they can't be trusted?
Well, I know the governor here. I mean, the biggest thing that I see with Governor Cuomo that is really just kind of it goes to the corruption part of stuff that we always talk about. You remember the nursing home stuff, where he had put them into he brought them back into nursing homes when they had COVID. They
pretty much backfired and really made no sense.
6,600 elderly die, but as we know, it's probably about 13,000, because anyone that left, like if they had COVID but died in the hospital, they don't count it as a nursing home death, even though they caught it at the nursing home. So
it's fuzzy math.
Now, but here's the thing. Now here you're talking about who's accountable, who tries to hold people accountable if the government's not, if we can't trust the government. Well, the Associated Press, who has been around a long time, I don't know what their stance is, or if they're liberal, whatever they are. But anyways, they did their own investigation into the nursing home scandal, and what I was just saying, they figured it's like 13,000 instead of 6,600. And as soon as they started digging into it, the Associated Press was then denied access to the New York State nursing home death data. They did file
freedom of information
3 months ago, but nothing. They can't get it. Now, Governor Cuomo's written a book, and it's called American Crisis: Leadership Lessons from COVID-19 Pandemic.
Really?
Coming out in October. And
wow.
These guys are just, not
so
even...
So he had a hidden agenda while he's trying to be the leader of the state, is getting his book published. And
not even so much as I know this wouldn't help the 13,000 elderly that passed away, or the 53 here in Niagara County, which is half of what I think of how many have died. And, not even as much as I'm sorry, I made a mistake. No, nothing like that, and I just, that just should, the egomaniacs, they just can't. They will not say they did something wrong. And obviously there was a mistake made, and it was a really devastating mistake for the people that lost their life.
Yeah, fatal mistake.
But
some mistakes you can only make once in life, and that was certainly one of them.
Now, why is it that, here's a quote from him. He said, there's no such thing as a person who is trusted by all Democrats and Republicans. That person doesn't exist. The Department of Health, those are just numbers. They report our numbers. You can see what you want to see in the numbers, but the numbers are the numbers. That was his quote about this investigation.
So like it or not, these are the numbers.
Yeah.
Whether they're real or not. Yeah.
So if the Associated Press tried, now I did hear, I think that Southern District of New York FBI office is getting involved to do an investigation. I haven't heard any more about it, but that's good. But that's what made me think about this, because when you said who's going to hold them accountable if you can't trust them, it's supposed to be the media. Like that was always the fourth, the next, kind of like the fourth branch of government would be media.
And then social media came along, and everything is for, my moment of fame, my minute. What can I get on the news about? What story can I come with today?
Right. No, and it's just.
And when did every word become open to interpretation? There's right versus wrong. There's law and order. Why does everything have to come down to a racial issue that certainly affects many people on a daily basis, but not everything is that. In certain situations, of course, that comes into play. And as we've seen, it's been disgustingly, obvious what's going on with these horrific,
all right,
police acts. But anyways.
Well, no. All right. Before we move on to that subject, because I have something with that too.
Good.
Did you see the list of states that are supposed to quarantine before they come? Or I don't know, after they I don't even know. Is it before they come to Niagara Falls? Or when they get here, they have to quarantine?
Yeah, I think at one point there was like 33 states on the list.
Yeah,
and if they were to come to New York, either by driving through, because they're going to hit a toll booth. So
right.
when at the toll booth, I think they get a little flyer. And supposedly at the airports, I think it says, if you're going to be here, or you got to so-and-so for so long. Well, I'll tell you what, there's no quarantine going around that I see, and I see a lot of states out of state plates, from a lot of those areas.
And I'll tell you, the last couple of weekends have been busy, real busy. I was reading in the paper that hotels, and it was up. It was really good the last 2 weeks for them.
Yeah,
like a price for a room in Niagara Falls was at $140 a night.
Wow.
And the average price for a room around the country is $100 a night.
Wow.
So actually Niagara Falls is ahead of the game, of trying to recover. So that's good.
Oh, absolutely. Anything we can get to bring revenue in. Certainly they're going to visit some restaurants, we hope, that are open. And
well, there's no...
We got a long way ahead of us. John, we need some entertainment in the winter time. If we're already so far in the hole as a city, and, our budget is obviously going to be a big issue going forward. What can... we got to have some revenue coming in. We can't just close up the city at 9 o'clock every night. It was brought up on a show. I can't remember which one the other night, but the city closes down at 9. Once the Canadian border opens, that place is going 24/7.
Well,
we need to keep people here and have them make it a destination city. If you go to Florida, if you go to Disney World, you go to California, you go to, there's a SeaWorld or whatever. There's, people come here, they visit the falls, and I think I'm getting a lot of this from what Peter had said. They're here for, a day, maybe a day and a half to look at the water, but we need to promote the area. We need, as these visitors come back, tell them about Lewiston, tell them about the Lockport Locks, tell them about Fort Niagara, and a lot of these places. It actually was a caller on the edge of the falls. Diana, I think, was her name. A lot of these people love to come in the wintertime. So knowing that people want to come here, we need to give them something to do. So hopefully somebody comes up with an idea to develop some land by maybe Niagara Falls Redevelopment will wake up from the dark. And we should, on a future show, let's talk about them.
Well, yeah, them. They came around in 1996 or 94, somewhere in that. I think Galey was mayor when all that started rolling.
What a shame. It used to be a neighborhood. Now it's 140 acres locked up with nothing on it but vacant houses and fields. And
to the cities, I mean, what are they going to do? They can't do. What are they going to do?
Because it's private property,
you try
right?
I mean, it's a mess. I mean, I almost think sometimes when Canada's open for business, I know I hate to send people over there, but at least a lot of them will stay here and go there. You know what I mean? It's cheaper to stay here, I would imagine, overnight in a hotel than it is to go there. So but if you so choose out there, 716-804-1229 is our phone number, and also Facebook. You got anything, Chris?
Paula just chimed in. She said it was on, believe it or not, we did watch the Vincenello show.
Oh,
the reason why, actually, real quick, since I'm on Paula, thanks for our viewers. Kevin's always on there. Let's see who else has joined us tonight. Jeffrey Filippelli.
Oh,
I believe.
Jeff.
Okay, Jeff. Okay, good. Danny Fitzpatrick
nice.
talking about the Woodward book is dropping a bombshell on Trump. But real quick,
that's right.
Back to Bill Kennedy. So basically, the planning board had actually turned down the resolution that was trying to be proposed for short-term rentals, which was very good, and we were very excited. Little did we know there was going to be a city council meeting a few days after that, or within the last few days, and they actually were voting on it, and so it needed to be passed unanimously if they did pass it. However, Bill Kennedy was the lone no vote, which saved it from going through, which meant that if you were interested in having an Airbnb in the city of Niagara Falls, it would be limited to a certain area of the city. So most people were against that because there are a lot of Airbnbs in the city that are not anywhere near those zones that they wanted. Now,
let me ask you something, Chris, but those would have been okay. Those would have been all right, the ones that were already running, right? It was the new ones.
I believe the existing ones would have been grandfathered in, and then going forward it would have been limited to one area, which, in many aspects is a good idea, but you can't limit it to one area of the city. You want the guests, you want visitors, you want... A lot of people come back that are from Niagara Falls. They come in for the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, so... Again, you want them, if they're going to stay, can't stay at the mom and dad's house because there's too many family in town, they can rent an Airbnb. Right. But if I said you could only go rent one on 9th Street and 10th Street, you're not going to rent them. If I said you could rent one in LaSalle, Town of Niagara, you can go to North Tonawanda, wherever you want. That's what most people in the community felt.
Well, North Tonawanda, you said? In Tonawanda?
Oh, I was just saying in general.
I was thinking LaSalle and DeVoe.
Yeah, sure.
Even,
sure, yeah.
But I would think, though, Chris, they got to, something's got to be done. Though, obviously, they got to go back to the drawing board.
Right. They got to enforce existing zoning, and my wife manages approximately 30 properties throughout the city, and they are all licensed, registered Airbnbs. So there is a process in the city. We've had no problem complying with anything that was needed to run them, and so yeah.
Right now, Chris, is the bed tax coming out and all that, or that got turned down?
I don't believe that they pay. Because it was a whole series in that proposition, and so the whole thing. The whole thing got turned down.
So you'd have to. They have to go back to the drawing board, and maybe all they'd have to do is just
take. Basically, if they took out that zone, yes,
just
tweak
redo
it a
the
little.
zone.
redo the zone to allow
maybe
it.
move them around a little.
Somebody
I
had a
guess.
suggestion of maybe within a couple miles of hotels.
That was Tim.
Either.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's throughout the city, there's different hotels. And listen, that way the Factory Outlet Mall can do good. That way pizzerias on Buffalo Avenue can do good.
But-
that way, well, Cuomo and Michael's, we don't know now.
No.
They're up for
Yeah.
sale. But I was going to say Pine Avenue. Man, I mean, those leave. What's left?
You know, I was just going to say, though.
Whether you are pro-Italian food or not. Just kidding. But
well, I mean,
I mean,
was...
100 years in business for that. I mean,
Well,
they're
they were
pillar.
kind. Yeah, no, I know, but you know, they never really updated to any times. I mean, I thought that was tough. I mean, you might want. I mean, you know what? We're in 2020.
I get you.
And
I know
someone
where you're going
who's
with
20
this.
or 30
Yeah.
or. I mean, I might like to go dress up, sit down, and eat, but I mean, I know 20-year-old. They're not it's more of a go and get out. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's so big. Like
Yep.
Fortuna's is small. But that place is so big.
Right, you would go there for something elegant, a wedding reception, a party, and it does fit that. But I see where you're going. Their food is very traditional, but the building, the furniture has probably since been the original furniture. You know.
Yeah,
but,
I mean it's like stepping back in time, and I like
it
that.
It is.
But I don't
a certain
think,
crowd. You're right.
I don't think people like my kids' age don't get it. You know what I mean? But there was something else. Oh, you know, they have to do something though. Something's got to happen because every city has it zoned in a way. Like I was looking even at Utica. I was looking at different places. They all have a zone. You know, there's got to be a reason. So there's got to be a way to make it work. Because I think
it's just the bringing the people to the table and being able to communicate what each side wants and coming to a compromise. You know, Ken Tompkins chimed in, says it was a limited time basically to get it under control.
Right.
So, and we agree. I mean, if there's a licensing fee, fine. If there's, they need to get bed tax from it, we're certainly for that.
Right.
And
it's just the zone that everyone was upset about,
Right.
how it was drawn out. Now,
it also quickly when
go
I
ahead.
came in, we were discussing it briefly. Think of it from certainly it's it would be an asset to the city to have a certain district of common people
Right.
that are here on vacation. It's going to make them feel safe and welcome. And sure, it'd be a good thing. But you also got to remember, if you only had it limited to a certain area, and I don't remember the map exactly, but it was kind of scattered throughout the city, you're also going to affect those people that live there, not from the point of view of an Airbnb maybe being in that area, but displacing people that live in certain area that will no longer be able to afford to live somewhere in the city. So it sort of forces people out if
Right.
you're dictating a certain section of the city. So,
but how would they? I guess my only question is, if let's say whatever, I don't know either. I remember it was like from I can still see the map a little, but because I know I'm in the zone, and it went from like Buffalo Avenue all the way down like to Finley Avenue on Whirlpool, and then there were some weird spots in there. And what I'm going to ask you, Chris, is maybe and I'm being serious. I'm not even trying to be like devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
If let's say it's I don't even know what street. Let's just say it's 15th Street,
Okay.
and you got people that still live there. You've got renters. You got all that. Why would they have to leave? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, if that was part of the zone, why do they got to go? Like, why would they have to leave?
Well, because a lot of those properties are rentals. So the rentals, they want to turn them, the owners of those rental properties want to turn them into Airbnb. So it could force people out.
Okay.
In
see,
that sense of it.
It's possible, yeah.
And say an investor comes in with a lot of money and they say, okay, I want 10 houses between this street and that street at any price. And it goes through, and you know how things work.
Yeah. Well,
and
if
so
they'll sell,
that could happen that way as well. A couple options.
I got to figure out what other cities did and how they're being successful at this as far as having an area. You know what I mean? Because they have them. I mean, I was even looking before the show today. And like I said, I looked at Utica. I looked at all different places, not
and that's
huge.
similar to us in population.
And they don't
right?
have I don't understand, but we can't.
Yeah, let me just chime in here
go ahead.
one more
Yep.
time with Ken has chimed in, Ken Tompkins.
Okay.
He said the resolution in front of us was changed from what the planning board rejected. It encompassed many of the issues they they failed at 4. It would have opened up in phases as we gained control of the short-term rentals. Also would have allowed the ones that run the short-term rentals to pay for the enforcement.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So,
I think there's something there that has. I know there has to be.
There's
you know what's
definitely
funny
a
with
resolution.
this
it
thing?
can work both for it.
I see both sides.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't usually see both sides on stuff, but this one is a tough one. When I'm talking to one person, yeah, that's good. And I talk to the other, yeah, I mean, both sides, I'm just kind of...
And here's one other big thing about it. I would much rather, and I would say probably 95%, 98% of the city would much rather have a house that's been fixed up, that's been repaired, that's taken care of, that's now on the tax rolls.
Right.
Okay, listen, we have approximately 30 properties that my wife manages. We have a strict no party policy. We tell the guest ahead of time. The guests are screened, are vetted by their name. They have to provide photo ID. They have to have an email address and phone number. So they're vetted by Airbnb's platform. They're also vetted by us because we know what to look for when someone's renting it for a party. So from my perspective, obviously I'm pro Airbnb, but we are complying. We are doing everything in our power to make sure that anybody comes to our city, they, number one, have a great experience. We are customer service people of Niagara Falls as citizens, as part of Airbnb. We need to promote our city. We need to not tell people to leave after they go see the water.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things to do. But again, from my perspective, my opinion, we're bringing people to the city to have a good experience, to spend their money, and to keep them as safe as they can, all while going and having a good time with the falls. People that aren't complying, just as people sell alcohol that don't follow the rules, there's people that have Airbnbs that maybe have a strip club in it, or somebody mentioned one night, your friend, or Jeff, right? One Jeff guy that was on, but somebody was running a legal one, and it was they were gambling in it, or strip club or something, but... Yeah. Anyways,
Well, I want to say something real quick. I'm just on a whole different topic because, God, I'm going to feel bad. Mr. Fitzpatrick there, what's his first name, Brian? I don't know. He was on Facebook there. He gave anyways, I'm forgetting his first name. He was on Facebook talking about the Woodard book for Trump.
Oh,
why am I forgetting his first name?
Fitzpatrick, you said?
Yeah, it's his last name. He's on Facebook. He had a message. I don't remember his first name. I just can't.
Jeff?
No, it isn't Jeff.
On here?
Yeah. He put a message in there about Woodard and the Trump stuff. What's his name?
Jeffrey Filippelli.
Oh, that was him who said it?
He said, I believe so. I'm going back. Yeah, let's see. 1 second.
I think it's Dan. Maybe it's Danny Fitzpatrick. I'm all confused, and because I talked.
Oh
to him.
yes, you are right.
Is it?
My apology, everybody that's chimed in. I'm sorry, I can't keep up. Yes.
Okay.
It's Danny Fitzpatrick Jr. He said this Woodward book is dropping a bombshell on Trump.
I know, and I just saw it when I came in, and I didn't have time. Next week, though, we're going to have a Trump supporter here, Lisa Dorado. And I look forward to having her here because we're going to ask her why she is a supporter and all that. And this will be good. Oh. We'll be able to have that information because I'll research it some more. And, I think we're done with short-term rentals for now.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely. But it's good that we got dialogue going on. There's people on both sides that have come to the table. And
so Bill Kennedy's batting .250 in your eyes, huh? He's 1 for 4. Is that what I'd say? He's got. That's not good, but it's 1 for 4. He's 1 for 4.
1 for 4. Hey, man, if you're keeping track.
Well, he would have been 0 for 3. I guess it depends on what you want. If on your side he's 1 for 4, for others he's 0 for 4. I don't know. But anyways.
Well, you know what?
As long as they're doing it out of whatever they think is right is right. What are you going to do? It's just, that's it.
I would say it seemed as a well thought out decision by Bill Kennedy.
All right.
And I thank him for making that decision.
You thank him. All right. Well, that's all right. I don't.
And we'll see. And we'll wait for the next episode of City Politics 101.
Yeah, I'm not thanking him. I'm not thanking anybody. I don't even know anything. I don't even know what to think of it. But I do know this is that we got an election coming up next year, and it's there's a lot of good people that are running. So, a real lot of good people
Yeah,
that I
how
hear.
many
Right?
days? Like 55 or something, right?
Well, I don't. It's in 2021, so I don't
Yeah.
know. The election, I mean, for the city council.
Oh,
Not for the
gotcha.
president.
Yes.
And there's a
that one
lot of
too.
good people running, and it's going to be interesting. Now,
Zach, call in, man. Zach, my friend from Canada, you're welcome to call in. 716-804-1229. You can chime in about anything you want.
on Facebook, you probably saw it. I said we had to deal with some things. That was my post. We're going to have to deal with some things tonight.
Let's deal with
All right,
them.
it's time to deal with it, and I want you to chime in whenever you want. Okay,
Take over. I
have
talk
a lot
too
of
much.
Stuff. No. And tell me what people are saying, but no, chime in because I want to hear what you got to say.
All right, absolutely.
We have someone here who's a friend, more of a friend, but also does work here, podcast here and stuff, and good friend.
And we support everyone that comes to Uwawa Media.
Right, but she's a good friend of ours,
Yep.
and going through some stuff, and currently the stuff she's going through, I think, by one of the, I'm not even going to mention the name, one of the papers here, and you all know, is really just. I talked about the manufacturing consent in the past. This goes above and beyond manufacturing consent. This is like trying to, poison the jury field out there, shame people, try to cause issues. Just the most unbelievable stuff that a normal publication would not do. They're doing. Well, they're not normal. So and I got to tell you, this is about what I wanted to talk about. Was about fake accusations of rape and sexual assault. They're not as often as people think. They're really not. So here, let me give you some. I told you these stats earlier. Let me tell the people.
And this really hits home
Now,
for you, and this is a very serious topic. And please pay attention and chime in if you want.
Well, here, please chime in.
Yeah.
It's just that. And let me just read the stats that I found today as I was looking into all this.
Shocking.
People like stats for, all this stuff, who kills who, white on white, black on black crime. Well, here's a crime, and this crime is sexual assault and rape. And fake rape accusations make up only 5% of all reported cases. Only 5%. Now, the University of Minnesota, Northwestern, and Harvard, they all did studies on false reports. One did a 20-year study, one does a 10-year study, one does a study only for the year 2016. And in that study, all three of these studies showed it went from 2% to 5%. 2%, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's it. That's how many false claims are made by women or men, whoever's abused, about their abuse, about the abuser.
Sure, you're looking it through a different lens.
In the United States, every 92 seconds, someone is sexually assaulted.
Shocking.
Right? Now, also, 320,000 is the average amount of victims that are over the age of 11 assaulted or raped.
So what you're telling me is that's more than the plague has caused deaths.
Oh,
I'm not minimizing the COVID. But
3 out of every 4
Wow.
assaults and rapes go unreported. Only 23% of survivors ever report anything. Now, the Brennan Center of Justice found that in 2016, 80% of rape and sexual assault went unreported. This was found from the Justice Department analysis of violent crime. And here's another thing.
What year was that from, John? I'm sorry.
2016.
Oh, okay, great.
Here's another thing. Men have a better chance of being raped than they do of being accused of false sexual charges. So they have a better chance of getting raped themselves other than being, accused falsely.
Wow.
So, statistically, it's overwhelming, isn't it? It's overwhelming. At what point would you ever want to say, hey, there's 95%, there's 5%, you know what? 5%. I believe I'm going to have to, that 95%, they're up to something. The payday, whatever, they're up to something. Mm-hmm. So, you got that. It's overwhelming. It's the whole point of me bringing up the numbers is I'm really shocked as we have our friend here that's going through it, right now, and it's pretty public. because one of these papers decided they want to publicize it. And people, for some reason, and I saw this the other night with my wife too, someone on Facebook wanted to tell them, well, why didn't you do something different? What took so long to report it, right? All that stuff. Instead of,
you wonder why nobody wants to report it, because as soon as a woman wants to speak up, or a man, or a child, automatically we go into interrogation mode, and that's where you're going. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. Maybe money, maybe coercion, maybe power.
Everything.
Maybe fear, a man being physically stronger than being shamed. And knowing that you're going to be interrogated, then you got to worry about a rag newspaper that's going to go on the opposite coin. Like Paul again chimed in, yes, the article was downright shameful. I could not believe what I was reading. Talk about silent character assault and demeaning the victim. I mean, that's where you're going. I mean, it was very demeaning.
Well, I was thinking this today. For some of these people that ask, why didn't you report it and all that stuff, I got to, now, I've seen it, up close. And
they put her name in the paper.
And here's my thing.
Are you kidding me?
It's not like having your wallet stolen. So it isn't like, oh, my wallet's stolen, I'm going to go to the police. It's a big different situation. I mean, it's not. Think
night and day,
about
brother.
this.
Night and day.
Now, think about this, though. If your car got broken into and a thief went through it, or your house, someone got in there and rummaged through your stuff, you feel almost violated.
Absolutely.
I bet you.
Absolutely.
How do you think that someone feels who got assaulted?
Yeah.
Sexually.
Yeah.
Or raped. I mean,
you feel weird. Somebody stole the cement planters of a guy's head off my front porch.
And it feels weird.
Yeah.
But
you could have asked me for them. I would have gave them to you. But you have the nerve to walk up and steal them. And where'd you go with them? They weigh like 15 pounds a piece.
So how in the world does it? How in the heck could anyone ask why? Why didn't you go? Why didn't you say something sooner? Why didn't you do something? Come on.
I mean, to chime in again on social media here.
Yep.
Tony Pasquale from Arizona says, false accusation. Those who falsely accuse need to go to prison. Go to prison, capital letters. Be careful in making a false claim. And interestingly enough, a friend of ours, Noel, chimed in and says, that's why no one is falsely accusing.
Well, yeah. False, 5%, 2%. I mean, the numbers, the stats don't lie. And I'm sorry if the numbers don't, and I'm not saying this to the guy from Arizona. This isn't who I'm saying this to.
I was just.
But the numbers don't lie. I mean, everyone likes numbers. Everyone wants to say the stats. I don't care if your feelings get hurt. Well, guess what? This here numbers, maybe they hurt your feelings because that means maybe your buddy is what he is or isn't what he is. I don't know. But all I know is this: 5% of victims that come forward have made false claims.
So 95% are true.
Now, the 95% doesn't mean that anyone was convicted. Doesn't mean what? We don't know, but they were never labeled as false. Like, it wasn't said, oh, this is false. They made it up. Maybe there just wasn't enough evidence. Maybe, any reason that it might have been, dropped or however it goes, but not false. False claim is really, really digging deep to it's incredible. Think about it.
Said she'll have a little positive information later for us.
Well, that's great. I just know that victim to shame or whatever you want to call it, victim blaming. Think about the only thing I gotta say to guys out there and women that maybe think that people make up these stories. Think about it. It's dehumanizing, right? It definitely is. Public scrutiny. It's we're seeing it firsthand. Public scrutiny.
And I don't have any numbers. We can certainly get them, but I know that New York State and probably in general across the country, there's thousands and thousands of rape kits sitting on a shelf somewhere that either can't be tested, aren't tested. They don't have staff. I'm not sure why, but. I mean, can you imagine that? Something happened to you 20 years ago and you don't really know what happened or where this guy or girl or whoever was the assailant and there's evidence sitting on a shelf somewhere, and there's not enough people, there's not enough technology. I'm not sure why, but that certainly what goes along with what you're saying is certainly an injustice to those people that have faced sexual assault, any assault, domestic abuse, sexual assault.
And I think the police do
disgusting.
a very good job. I've seen it in action. I've seen it myself. Those people in like the sex crime units and stuff are really good, very compassionate. I mean, they take their time. You know, they take your story and they write it in a report, a police report. And you know, I just get sick when I hear and then I read it that people are making it up. How in the hell? What are you making it up for? Do you think anybody wants to be in the paper known as the person who's been assaulted in that way?
There's so many other ways you could get in the newspaper, right?
Yeah, but
get your 5 minutes of fame that would be a lot less painful.
Right.
And it's humiliating, right? You're out there, then you got your family that, you know, your name's out there, your family, and you have all these people on the opposite sides that's throwing this and throwing that. You know, great, you're a keyboard warrior, they call them, right? You're great. You can make Facebook comments. Well, you know what? It's real. It's reality, folks. These things do happen. Things are not made up. And when people have evidence, you know, physical evidence, they have evidence that's been text or written or an email. It happened. We've seen the stuff. We know it exists.
Mental.
And most people that are innocent usually speak up and say they're innocent. Those that are guilty normally don't say much. And I'm not hearing nothing but a whole lot of crickets from some pond scum guy. Anyways. Well,
we will wait and see what happens.
We'll let the legal system take care of it.
That's fine, because I'm not saying it. I'm whatever. I know where I stand and where we stand here.
Absolutely.
In this building.
And solidarity.
And you know what else? It's just amazing to me. I mean, I'm watching, it's not even on a keyboard. It's actually in a publication that's all over our city. It goes all over, North Tonawanda, all over the place, just doing this. And with no shame, none at all, just saying whatever they want to say to try and disparage our colleague. And it's just not right. It's just not right. And, you know, Peter and Guy, Brett and all that have done a great job. They've always been on this. I haven't said a word. We haven't said a word for 10 episodes.
Yep.
We haven't said one word.
Not one
word.
It's just getting started.
Yeah, you know, I figured today it was good for us to finally bring it up because it's garbage. And I got another thing to say, and I really believe this. You know, I had always said that publication manufactured consent, right? Mm-hmm. And they did it for, you know, I always used to say the mayor, North Tonawanda, the Watazik, running for the
special
judge,
crew.
The little bakery, which I never understood and I still don't. But they constantly do that stuff. So here's what I got to say to them, and I mean it. If you are okay with victim blaming, well, keep going to them. Keep staying with them. You're showing everybody what you think. Because if you like victim blaming, then I guess you'll be their friend. You'll keep advertising with them.
Keep subscribing.
You'll keep paying with them.
Yep.
You'll keep doing everything with them. So good. So now we know who you are. Let's see what happens.
Beautiful said. Well said, my friend.
You have to see what are these people going to do. They're running for stuff. They're a city. They're a business. You're for that? Yeah, I mean, I want to know. Are you for? Maybe they are. But I'll tell you, there needs to be
some reckoning.
Yeah, and all these people that are just so complicit and so, you know, they're going to have to look at themselves someday. And these people that are, like I just said, that are so involved with it, because there's only about 5 things they write about. Usually, and I named them.
Yes.
And now we got another one. So let's see where you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious that their idea is...
You know what? The ball's in your court now.
It's 5%. It's 5%.
Let's see it. Let's see where they are now.
So do these people that love to be in that paper, they believe the 5%?
They were already
believe it.
on notice, and now they're even more on notice. And we're not going to stop until we get the resolution that is deserved and just.
Chris, do you know?
And now there's 19 girls that have been affected by this. We'll just say unnamed person. I don't want to give him any time or credit.
No more to be said on
No
him.
more to be
I'm
said.
not even mentioning. I'm not mentioning him.
Hey, I know. I just want to real quick time check. It's about 10 minutes till we're done. I know you had a lot of material. We got into some great topics. Yeah. If you want to give out your numbers or wait till the end, just wanted to.
I'll get them.
Up.
I'll get. Yeah, thank you.
So
I'll definitely.
About 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll get them towards the end. I just.
It's been a great show, man.
Well, think about all the people that don't come forward, Chris. Think about, and I'm not talking about in this specific situation. I'm talking about in all of them. I mean, where people are just not going to come forward. How about people that are going to read this article and all this nonsense in that paper and think, why, I'm sure they would. If they were a victim, why would they think about saying anything? It's protecting the powerful, no doubt, because if the powerful's out there doing this, let's say a politician, whatever, why would anyone do it? And this is why they don't. Because it's not worth it. No one wants money. In these situations where someone is raped or assaulted, they're not looking for money. Money's not the object. You know what? I know it isn't. It isn't. What it is the justice you get, letting that person know that you know, and then, it feels good to the survivor. Because they let the person know that hurt them, look, I know what you did, and I'm letting you know what
and I'm letting everybody else know.
Now.
And you're going to be held accountable.
And it's not money. I'm sick and tired of money. The last time I heard anywhere of anyone doing a false claim was in the Duke lacrosse team. I don't know how long ago that was.
I do recall that. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and I don't remember, but that's the only one that I can recall.
And I think there was a few that came. It seemed like maybe a couple copycats, something around that time, and they turned out to be. Well,
think about it. Think about think about Ben Roethlisberger. He was.
Oh yes.
He was accused in a bathroom in Georgia, right? Mm-hmm. And what do people say? People say online, "Oh, she just wants money." Oh, look at perfect. She just wants money. She just wants money. Well, come on. It's not that she wants money, but here's what ends up happening, though. Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. And Big Ben might pay. I don't know. I have no idea what happens there.
What are those agreements that the president's so known for? Non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah, but I just don't understand it. I mean, there's so many. I mean, think about Mike Tyson. He went to prison for his situation in Indiana.
Yep.
He goes to prison.
Yep.
So I mean, there's too much of that going on, and it's sad that in our city I see it. It's sad that some of the people that I see that are people running for office and stuff like that, and people that hold office and those that are trying to make a living here are good with it. They're absolutely fine with making a victim feel like they can't come forward because in the newspaper, we're going to print your name. We're going to print everything. We're going to print details. We're going to hurt you.
Yeah,
and you're going to quit.
Some kind of law that's supposed to protect the victim?
I don't, yeah. It
wasn't protected in this case.
It's a free-for-all, and
we have K. Hugh Carroll. What about Kavanaugh? That was also a false claim.
But it wasn't a false claim.
No
one said it was a false claim. That was never ruled a false claim.
Never.
No one. What false claim? No one even investigated.
Nothing happened.
She went before Congress, and that was it. No one investigated it.
No accountability.
No one investigated. We don't know what happened there. So that's it. We don't know what happened, and that's how it ends. So I know that she. Nothing. There was no investigation. I don't remember. I remember that was part of the problem. They wanted an investigation. But
Noelle's on here still saying she has every right to defend herself against what he says. And then she's replying to Noelle, you seem to lean towards Nick's side, but what they write, so I'll write a little bit of my side.
Yeah,
I mean,
Well, she's putting up with a lot. She's putting up with a lot, more than anyone should have to put up with in this situation.
She's a mother. She has children. She has, she works. She has things going on.
I've said
nobody's going to intentionally put themselves in this position or go through this, through this.
My thing here tonight isn't towards the defendant. Not at all. This is towards the paper.
Gotcha.
The defendant to me, I'm not saying anything because I already got my own stuff I got to deal with him. So I'm not going there with him. I'm only talking about the paper and what the paper is doing to a victim, which then will filter to their other victims who will see, look at what's happening. Look what's happening to her. Why would I speak up? So 5%. 5%. Just remember that, men, you have a better chance of being raped yourself.
That is eye-popping, eye-opening, whatever adjective you want to use. That statistic. Say that one more time.
Oh, it's men are more likely to be raped than they are to be a false claim put against them. A false sexual assault or rape charge would be put against them.
I think that speaks for itself.
So it's just I waited a long time, Chris, and I know you did too, to bring this up. Well,
we're definitely on the same page.
I didn't know we were going to make it 10 episodes, and thank God we did. And thanks to Peter, Barb, and that we're still here.
We have 29 viewers right now.
Because they could have thrown us out, but they didn't. It could have been gone, but we didn't. And I just. I hope I didn't overwhelm the people. Because I'm pissed off. I'm just really mad. The whole thing is a waste of time. The whole thing is bullshit. The whole thing is just garbage. I can't take it anymore.
I feel your passion.
And I have to deal with this on many different levels.
Yes.
And someday, and I'm going to say it, and I hate to say this, but these people that are always so ready to attack the victim, God forbid, someday your loved one or somebody gets something happens, and I hope it doesn't, but if it does, see what I don't know, but you'll see then what it feels like when they're telling you, what was that all about? Why did you wait so long?
What do they say? The hen will come to roost. Is that the saying?
All right, I'm going to read my. Well, you can say goodbye, and I'm going to say
goodbye and give a number too. All
right, go ahead.
Again, great to be back in the saddle again, John. I feel your passion. You couldn't have been more clearer tonight. We support our friends and our colleagues, and again, thank you to Uawa Media for the opportunity to make it to 10 episodes. John, it's always great with you. And one number that I'd like to give out tonight is we can all help prevent suicide. The Lifeline provides 24/7 free and confidential support for people in distress, prevention and crisis resources for you or a loved one. That number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, Suicide Prevention Lifeline is available 24/7. It is available in English and Spanish. And again, 1-800-373-8255. You can chat with someone, and they also have a website. Thanks again, everyone. Peace.
Oh, thank you, Chris. So I got my couple numbers I want to give out. First off, the YWCA here in Niagara County. It's area code 716-278-9662. They are there for you. They are there for the victims we were talking about, survivors. And there are counselors waiting. They'll counsel you once a week. They'll do anything. They're great people over there, and they'll help you. There's advocates. They'll help you get to the police. They do all that stuff. They're great. That's 716-278-9662, the YWCA. The other number is a nationwide. It's called RAIN with 2 N's, and it's 1-800-656-4673, 1-800-656-4673, and they are confidential, just like the Y is, and there's someone always standing by there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help you as a survivor or a victim, and don't hesitate to call those numbers. I want to thank Peter, who's running everything. I want to thank Barb. I want to thank Robin. I want to thank you, Chris, and I want to say next week we're going to be back to politics. I know this kind of got a little crazy at the end, but Lisa Dorado will be with us, and we'll be talking about why she's a Trump supporter. And everyone have a good one, all right?
Look forward to it, John. Thanks again,
Take
man.
care. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.